Shalom, Israel. Welcome to another edition of the Lions of Israel in our weekly class. Shalom, Israel. I want to thank all the brothers and sisters that are joining us. I forgot. My bad. Got to mute my mic. I forget sometimes. I definitely forget sometimes. There's a lot going on with this technology nowadays. So again, I want to thank all the brothers and sisters that are joining us tonight for this class. You can see the title of the class is called, really, this class, the title that I have there is not the title. That was the title that we were going to have, but we have something else today. The title of the class is called Using Your Spiritual Gifts, the gifts that the Most High gives you, and using your gifts for the betterment of the body. There's a lot of us as Israelites that have gifts and talents that the Most High gives us, and the Most High doesn't give you your gift or your talent for you to hold it to yourself or to bury your talent. The Most High gives you your gifts and your talents for you to use for the edification of the body and the nation, because there's someone somewhere that can utilize the gift that you have. And so you should be using that gift to help uplift this nation. And those of us that call ourselves leaders and teachers, so forth and so on, we have to cultivate the gifts of brothers and sisters that we see amongst us, and try to push them to utilize their gifts that can help us all. Because we're a body. This nation functions as a body. All right. So that's how nations function. You know, Most High is not going to give one man every gift. Most High is going to give a man a gift, maybe two, maybe even three. But he ain't going to have all the gifts. So he's going to have to be able to see talent and gifts in other people, both brothers and sisters, and be willing to cultivate those talents in those brothers and sisters so that they can use their gifts and bring it forth and bring forth the nation. I've always said it. I've said it many times. If we're coming back as a nation, there's a lot of things that we need. We need in order to build a nation. You're talking about you need midwives, you need doctors, you need lawyers, you need herbalists, you need people that are into masonry and construction. You need lawyers. You need teachers. You need mathematicians. You need scientists, not scientists so-called, but scientists. You know, people that are into technology and information. You know, you need people that have all these different gifts across a nation in order to build a nation. The foundation of a nation is a family. And you have a group of families, that's a neighborhood. And it goes on to be a community. And the community goes on to be a city. And cities go on to be nations. And you're going to need people to build the infrastructure of your nation. That's what's holding Israel back. Is that a lot of us come in and we just have tunnel vision. We come into this truth and we just deal on one level. It's all about just knowing a million scriptures and breakdowns, and knowing more than this brother, knowing more than that brother, knowing more than this sister, knowing more than that sister, being more spiritual than him, being more spiritual than her. All that stuff has its place. But if we're saying we're coming back as a nation, why are we relying on the other nations for everything? Why are our women giving birth in these hospitals, laying on their back, when our scriptures say that our women gave birth on stools? Why is that happening? Because we don't have midwives. That's why. Why are brothers and sisters, when they pass away in this nation, having to go to the other nations? Or even people that might be Israelites, don't know the Israelites, non-Israelites, why are we going to them to bury our dead according to customs that are not ours? Why are we doing these things? Because we have no infrastructure as a nation. And you might have a brother that has a talent in this camp, but because this camp is not cool with that camp, because that camp says if you're not with them, you're not the truth, right? Then we don't share our talents and pool our resources amongst each other. So we really don't have a nation at all. And that's what's going on with Israel. We really, as a nation, do not have a nation right now. It's just in word. We know who we are. So in that regard, we have a nation. But as far as having the infrastructure that's necessary to build a nation and to progress and to prosper, we don't have that. Even small things. I've said it before. I have a group on Facebook called the Israelite Network and Yellow Pages. Why did I form that group on Facebook? I formed the group so that if somebody's a plumber, before you go out and you call the white man or the other nations to come fix your plumbing, I was hoping that you would go on that page and look up another Israelite that might be a plumber, that might be an electrician, or any other trade, a mechanic, or what have you. I was hoping that Israel would look each other up and give each other business before we give our business to the other nations. That's how you build a nation, by keeping the finances circulating in your community. So many of us have gifts, but we're not sharing our gifts with each other. And we're also, even more important, we're not seeking out others in our nation that might have gifts that we might have use for. It's like as soon as something goes wrong, we open up the yellow pages and we're going to these other nations. You know? So tonight's class, I know what it says on the screen, and I apologize for that. I thought I changed it. But tonight's class is about using the gifts that the Most High gave you. That's something that Israel is not doing. You might have a gift or a talent, but you're not really focusing on that talent, because I've heard it many, many times. Oh, Israel don't support each other. And that's true to a degree. That's true to a degree. But we have to change that narrative. It's very important that we change that narrative. We have to support each other. You know, you see somebody with a gift, support them, whatever it is, you know? So with that being said, I just want to give brothers and sisters a chance to come in before we actually get into the meat of the class, before we actually get into the nuts and bolts of the class. I just wanted to wait for a few more brothers and sisters to come in. So while we're waiting, let's have a little fun, shall we? Let's have a little fun. Now, I showed this in a video on Maccabees TV too. And I'm going to show this also on Maccabees TV as well. But since I have a few of you brothers and sisters over here and we're trying to build up our camp channel, I'm going to show y'all this too. Let's have a little fun. How many of y'all brothers and sisters saw this video? I saw it on Facebook. It was sent to me by Sister Malika Benjamin. Shout out to her. All right. How many of you brothers and sisters saw this video? I thought this was hilarious. I thought this was hilarious. How many of y'all saw this video? Well, let's read it, right? This is Prophet Mboro. All right. Now, we could have an argument. Is this a Hamite? Is this an Israelite that's scattered amongst the Hamites that's following Christianity? One thing I know for sure, Pastor Mboro is a Christian. So let's read what the caption right here says. Let's highlight it and let's read it, right? So Pastor Mboro is asking his congregants to remove their underwear and wave them. This is a church. While the other hand holds their private parts. This is in church. Just look at the still photo. What do you see? You see this dude with his hands on the family jewels. This is church. Can you imagine if an Israelite did this? Can you just imagine? Let's play the video. I'm gonna play the video for y'all real quick. Check it out. I'm trying to get the widescreen if I could. Here we go. Here we go. Got the widescreen. Check it out, y'all. Imagine if this, and picture if this was an Israelite. Check it out.
What is this?
Let's stop for a second. So what y'all see them waving in the air, those are their underwear. This dude told them to bring their underwear to church and wave it like they don't care. Some of the people that you see waving their underwear in the church are married women. Can you imagine if an Israelite did this? It would be an uproar amongst the Christian church. But this stuff goes on. This is normal for Christianity. Let's watch it again.
What is this? You like what I'm doing?
Wait. Y'all see where his hand is? I want y'all to pay attention. He asked the congregation, do you like what I'm doing now? When he's holding the family, this is Christianity. He asked the congregation, do you like what I'm doing right now? And he's holding the family jewels. Listen carefully as you're going to hear in the background a woman say, yes, we do. She likes the fact that he's holding his family jewels in front of the whole congregation. But y'all talk about Israelites, you must be out your mind. Pay attention. Let's go back a little bit. Pay attention. He's going to ask the congregation, do you like what I'm doing? Listen to the voice in the background.
You like what I'm doing or not?
Did y'all hear that? Did you hear that? He asked, do you like what I'm doing right now? And she said, we do. We do. Oh, you didn't hear it. Yeah, I know I'm stretching it out. I'm going to keep stretching it out because this is madness. Listen again. Wait. Wait, hold on. Let's go back. Come on.
You like what I'm doing or not? Must we stop? Because somebody doesn't like it? Just touch it. Let me pray. The fire of the Holy Spirit.
Y'all missed that. Y'all missed that. Y'all didn't see that woman? Where was her hand? Watch it again. Y'all see that? Run the still screen. You see that? This is church. This is church. What Israelite congregation would do something like this? Come on, man. Let's be real.
The fire of the Holy Spirit. Touch in the name of Jesus. I come against you, beasts, you animal.
Faith is a crazy, powerful thing.
All invisible demons, I flush them out.
As a non-believer, I'm not sure if I will ever fully understand.
Look at her. She's crying. What's she crying about? And in her right hand, she got a pair of polka dot underwear, and she's crying like this is something spiritual. You understand? Yes. Do y'all understand what's going on in this world? What type of world we're living in Israel? This is insane. Insane. This is why we have the topic tonight, using your spiritual gifts. We have to use the gifts to cultivate this nation because the Most High has to raise up Israel, that elect number, so he could bring this wicked ass world down. Because this world is wicked as hell. Let's just go back a little bit. Let's finish playing and let's move on.
As a non-believer, I'm not sure if I will ever fully understand people waving their underwear or holding their private parts in church. But like Mbora would say, we are from different worlds.
All right, so that's enough of that. Let's move on. Let's move on real quick. We're about to get into the class, but let's just talk about what's going on in the world. Because at the end of the day, we're living in the days of what? Prophecy. So this is from the website newsweek.com, right? Look what our illustrious, wonderful president said. And Newsweek is not a tabloid. It's not like TMZ. This is a reputable publication. Donald Trump says, our ancestors tamed a continent. That's talking about America. And we are not going to apologize for America. So they are unrepentant for killing millions of Native Americans here in this land unjustly, for giving them blankets that were filled with smallpox, for raping their women, killing the men, to the point almost of where the Seminole Indians became extinct almost. They were almost massacred and completely wiped out. Our illustrious president says, we're not going to apologize for America. And the average simple so-called Negro, simple behind so-called Negro, is dead asleep. The white man is not repentant. So much for post-racial America. Because people say, oh, you talk about race too much. You talk about the white man. Because the white man said he's not apologizing for what he did. He's not sorry for what he did. And if he ain't sorry for what he did, he would do it again in a heartbeat. You so-called Negroes, man, need to wake up. Let's just read the first paragraph of this article, and then we're going to go into tonight's class. All right? This is from Newsweek magazine. All right? President Donald Trump said at a Naval Academy commencement address Friday that our ancestors tamed a continent, adding that we are not going to apologize for America. So please do not expect the so-called white man to apologize to the Native Americans for what he did to them. He's not sorry. He's not sorry for what Columbus, Pizarro, okay, and the rest of them did. Hernando Cortez and the rest of them devils did. He's not sorry. America's not sorry. Let's continue. Together, there's nothing Americans can't do. Absolutely nothing, Trump told 2018 graduates of the U.S. Naval Academy. In recent years and even decades, too many people have forgotten that truth. They've forgotten that our ancestors trounced an empire, tamed a continent, and triumphed over the worst evils in history. America has committed the worst evils in history, but they say that they've triumphed over that. Nobody in the history of the world has dropped an atomic bomb on anybody but America. Nobody. Nobody has taken a people's nationality away from them to the point where they're so destroyed, they don't know who they are. They don't know their mores, their folkways, their customs, their language, nothing. Nobody's ever done that in the history of the world. No nation has ever gone and destroyed the ozone layer and the water and killed off the animals the way that this country has. And they say that they triumphed over the worst evils of history. What the hell are they talking about? You talking about the Holocaust, where 6 million people didn't even die? Well, even so-called Jewish scholars tell you that number is bogus. Come on, man. Let's continue, because this is not the class. He added, America is the greatest fighting force for peace, justice, and freedom in the history of the world. But understand something. America wasn't about peace until America conquered everybody else first. Once they conquered everybody else and put everybody else in subjection, now they're talking about peace. Now it's all about peace. It wasn't peace. Well, you didn't conquer everybody. But now that everybody is conquered, now you're about peace. Who are you fooling? We have become a lot stronger lately. We're not going to apologize for America. We're going to stand up for America. So they don't apologize for all the evils America has done. And if you think that that doesn't include slavery, you need to wake the hell up. Let's continue. Before Europeans arrived in what became the United States, Native Americans occupied the land, but were forced to relinquish territory as the new Americans pushed westward as part of what was termed manifest destiny. If you don't know what that is, do some research. That's evil. That's wicked. In 1830, President Andrew Jackson signed the Indian Removal Act. And America said they're not sorry about this. The Indian Removal Act, which led to the deaths of thousands of Native Americans. Thousands of Native Americans. And what does our illustrious president say? We're not going to apologize for America. So now let me say this before we get into our class topic. A lot of you so-called Native Americans, man, a lot of y'all are Uncle Tomahawks. A lot of you are sellouts too. And a lot of you are not even Native Americans to begin with. A lot of y'all are crackers on this, talking about you got one quarter blood, 1/7 blood. You're the devil. Anyway, a lot of the real Native Americans aren't even on reservations anymore. But the ones that are, some of you dudes have sold out because the white man allows you to have daggone casinos and other things on your land. And you all about the money. Most High are going to destroy a lot of y'all because you're a disgrace to your ancestors. I just got to say that. I had to get that off my chest, Cap. Had to get that off my chest. With that being said, Captain McGutt, I don't know if you're ready, Lord, to come on in. You ready to come on in?
Yeah, I'm here, King.
That's what it do. All right, Lord, the floor is yours. Go for it.
Right, so all praises to the Most High for another day, of course. And Yahawashi. And I'm gonna say something, man. The brother, he played that video earlier. Waving your panties and your drawers in the air ain't no spiritual gift. All right, so all y'all damn fools doing that in churches, man. Y'all some damn fools, man. So, you know, we're gonna get into a couple of scriptures, you know, concerning spiritual gifts, and you know, just concerning what the Most High says about what He blesses us with, right? Because you know, a lot of times the nation of Israel, we overlook the fact that we are a blessed nation, that we actually, you know, a talented nation. Right, and a gifted nation, right? You captivity has you to where you don't believe in your gifts, so you don't believe in the potential of your gifts. So you know, we're gonna go into a couple of scriptures to show what the Most High is telling us when He says, or concerning gifts, when He says, you know, He blesses us with these things. Because again, you know, we have a lot of architects in our nation. We have a lot of builders. We have people that, you know, when you need plumbing, right? You got Israelites who Somebody mute your phone in the conference. Right. So we have Israelites who you know,
Hey,
they're
Cap,
gifted.
that's the Zoom. My bad.
Okay, cool.
You gotta mute yours. You have to mute yours, Lord. There you go. You good.
Okay. Gone. All right. So like I was saying, right? Basically, the nation of Israel, we have a lot of gifts that we're not putting to use, that we undermine ourselves with. So a lot of times, you know, Israel, they in a situation where they're blessed with something and they're not using it to the best of their potential. Right? They're not using it to the best of their ability as the Most High gifted them with, right? Or blessed them with. Right? So the first scripture I want to get is 1 Corinthians chapter 12 and verse 1. I still hear myself in the background. I don't know who got Zoom on or whatever. So, okay, so verse 1. Now concerning spiritual gifts, brethren, I would not have you ignorant. Ye know that ye were Gentiles carried away unto these dumb idols as ye were led. Verse 3. Wherefore I give you to understand that no man concerning no man speaking by the Spirit of Yahweh calleth Yahweh accursed, that no man can say Yahweh is Lord but the Holy Spirit. Right. So I want to concentrate on that first verse. It says, now concerning spiritual gifts, brethren, I would not have you ignorant. So even in the aspect of, you know, the Most High blessing us with spiritual gifts, we know what we're capable of doing. Deep down in our soul, inside of us, we know our gifts. We know what we can bring to the table, and we know what we can provide in order to help build the nation. Right? In order to help build the nation, we need to use our gifts in order to further our people. Right? We need to have people that does trades. We have people that you know, you can get together with and maybe do business with. Right? These are the kind of people you want to come together with. At the same time, those who's doing the work of the Most High, those who's out there pushing the word, right? Those who's out there contributing into the word being pushed, right? Even the smallest things, like I tell people, whatever it is that you do. Right now, we have brothers and sisters looking for people with good camera skills or technical skills, because those prophesying, some of us, we don't know that, right? But a lot of brothers and sisters, y'all a lot more advanced with these technical things because y'all into that. Right, just because you come into the truth from the world does not mean that you leave all your gifts behind in the world. You bring those gifts with you and try to use it in a righteous way when you come into this truth. That's what this truth is all about, man. Exalting your gift and your talent and yourself, right, while keeping the commandments of the Most High. All right, so let's read. Verse 4. It says, now there are diversities of gifts, but the same Spirit. And there are differences of administrations, but the same Lord, right? So we have different gifts. We have a diversity of brothers and sisters that have different things to bring to the table, right? Have different things to offer, right? A lot of brothers and sisters go to college, earn a degree, and, you know, maybe land a job in a criteria like construction. We need construction in our nation. So we need brothers and sisters to start coming forth and uniting and linking up with brothers on the same mindset, right? Because in order for us to build, you know, this is part of it. Using our gifts to the best of our ability is part of it, right? We prophesy the word, which is one of the most important things, but we also got to exercise the other gifts that the Most High gave us. Okay, so let's read. It says, now, verse 5, and there are differences of administration, but the same Lord. And there are diversities of operations, but it is the same God which worketh in all. So you might have a brother that is excellent in making post boards, right? A lot of brothers and sisters is not talented with those kind of things. So if he was to come forward and say, okay, I'm gonna come and help this camp out or that camp out with some post boards of whatever they suggest, all right, so I'm gonna contribute to the Most High, right? That's how you got to look at it, because when we put in work, we got to look at it as contributing to the Most High, contributing to our salvation. We all got to put in work for our salvation. Okay, so let's read. It says, verse 7, but the manifestation of the Spirit is given to every man to profit withal. For to one is given by the Spirit the word of wisdom, to another the word of knowledge by the same Spirit, to another faith by the same Spirit, to another the gifts of healing by the same Spirit. So we're reading the different gifts that the Most High blesses our people with, right? Some people is good in handwork, right? They're good with their hands. They know how to build houses and things like that. We need that kind of stuff. Understand what I'm saying? Yahushua himself, he always bring out, was a carpenter. So he was talented in what he was doing. And he was using what? His talents that the Most High gave him aside teaching, right? To not only help his nation, but to also, support himself. Because guess what? Yahushua was just like us, man. Right? He worked to show us what too, that he was humble. That he was just like us. Just like the scripture says, he was made like unto his brethren. So he did these things and showed us how to manifest our gifts and use it in the physical form. Because we are spiritual people as a nation of Israel. Okay, so let's read.
Can I come in real quick?
Yeah.
I just want to focus on verse 7 again. It says, but the manifestation of the Spirit is given to every man. And when it says man, it's talking about brothers and sisters, because sisters have talents too, to profit withal. Sometimes you come into this truth and you have a talent before you come in and you don't know why you have it. Make sure that that's muted. Yeah, you come into the truth with a talent. You don't know why you have it. You might come in as a sister and you might know how to sew or knit. And you've never really been using that talent, but your grandmother, your mother taught you how to sew, how to use a sewing machine, whatever. And you never really used that talent. All of a sudden you come into Israel, you see, dang, brothers need fringes on their shirts. Brothers need garments. Brothers need this, brothers need that. And now you have an outlet for your talent. Or any other talent the Most High might bring you in that you might have. You might be a great cook. You might be good as administration. You might be good at treasury. You might be good at a whole bunch of different things, because the scriptures, as we go down, is going to tell you about the different administrations in the nation. Most High didn't give you that talent to sit on your hands. So maybe when you was in the world, you couldn't figure out what you were going to do with that talent. So you suppressed it. You didn't use it. But when you come in the nation and you have it, you need to let brothers and sisters know. And use that talent to help push forward this nation. And find people that need that skill, because there's always somebody that needs something. Believe me, if you're a car mechanic, there's somebody that needs that. If you're a plumber and an electrician, somebody needs that. Doesn't matter what it is. Go ahead, Cap.
Right. Our people always have something that we need. Right. And just like where's that verse real quick? Let me get it real quick. All right. Verse 9, it says, to another faith by the same Spirit, to another the gifts of healing by the same Spirit. And that's why we have healthy Hebrews. That's why we have sisters of the Maccabees, because we have different we have different platforms of different things to inform our people. So we know people that's good with the herbs, that's good with healing sicknesses and things like that. So we go to them, learn what we can, and bring it to our nation. At the same time, we promote them to heal our people, so our people could be healed, and use their that resource or whatever resources around, right, in order to benefit yourself and your people. So that's what it's all about. Okay, let's read. Verse 10, to another the working of miracles, to another prophecy, to another discerning of spirits, to another diverse kinds of tongues, to another the interpretation of tongues. But all these work that one and the self same Spirit, dividing to every man severally or separately as he will. Right? That's what the word means. So the Most High is letting us know, no matter what you do, if your sincere spirit or mind or conscience is to better your nation, you're going to use whatever gift you can and bring it forth to the table. Like the brother said, a lot of times right now, we look for a brother or sister to sew, to make garments, and hardly none of our sisters know how to do it. Right? Some of our brothers know how to do it. Some of our sisters know how to do it, but for the most part, our people don't know how to do that. Right? So, but these are the things that we need, that we look for. So what if our people was to come forward and say, okay, well, what camp needs garments? I make garments. Right? People's gonna start hitting you up. Yo, what people need post boards? Yo, I make some good flyers. I know how to print it out with color and all that. I got it. I got the connect. Right? You come forward and you bring forth to the table. People always look what they can gain, what they can come and say, you know what, let me take from. How about what you can provide? what you can bring to the table and actually say, this is of my service to build the nation. What can you do? So that's why the Most High blessed us with spiritual gifts, man. Not only spiritual, but physical gifts, right? All the building, just like when Noah's Ark, right? When Noah was building the ark. Where you think he got that talent from? He got that talent from the Most High. And that's why he was able to build it, right? As instructed by the Most High, because he used that talent. He didn't say, well, I don't know how to build a boat, and I ain't going to use it, so I ain't going to sit here and think about my talent and use it. He didn't say that, right? So let's read on. It says, verse 12, for as the body is one and have many members, and all the members of that one body, being many, are one body, so also is Yahushua. So it's letting us know that although we have diverse gifts, we're working towards the same mission. We have the same goal. We're going towards the same direction in one body, right? Because the one body is what? Israel. And our head is Yahushua. His head is Yahweh. So we're supposed to be doing what? Working each other as the members, working with each other as the members of the body, to make sure we each other's crutches. Okay, to make sure that we, when one falleth, we got him. You know what I'm saying? Listen, don't worry about that. Esau's charging you too much for this furniture. I know how to make furniture. Let's make business, right? And that's how you do it, man. That's how you help your people. Okay, so the book of Matthew, chapter 5, and we're gonna start at verse 12. All right, it says, rejoice and be exceeding glad, for great is your reward in heaven. For so persecuted they the prophets which were before you. Ye are the salt of the earth. But if the salt have lost the savor, wherewith shall it be salted? So if you lost your flavor, man, you're the salt of the earth. The Most High blessed you to be a special people, but you ain't using your gifts. You lost your flavor, like we say in the hood, right? Yo, you lost your touch, man. Yo, you lost your fire, man. You ain't fire no more, man. You know what I'm saying? You cold. You know what I mean? So the Most High is telling the same thing. If we lose our flavor, we lose our fire, we lose our zeal, what good is it being a chosen people? What good is it being a special people? And what good is it the gifts that the Most High blessed you with? What good is it? Right? So ye are the salt of the earth, but if the salt have lost the savor, wherewith shall it be salted? It is thenceforth good for nothing. Meaning it's good for nothing, right? Just like they say, they have a saying, one of the biggest waste is a waste of talent. If you wasting your talent and you have a talent, then that's, you know, it's shame on you, because you could be coming forward to build your nation. You could be coming forward to reach out to brothers and sisters and say, yo, what y'all need from me? I got you. Right? Even if it's at service, when you read the scriptures, a lot of times, you know what I'm saying, the sincere brothers and sisters that was following the Most High and following Yahushua, they came to service. They didn't came to get served. They came to service. And that's why Yahushua acknowledged some of the people that the people didn't even think Yahushua would acknowledge them. Right? Just like when you read Yahushua, he was looking for a place to stay, and he had the thief in mind, but the thief thought, well, I'm a thief. Who is Yahushua? Who am I that Yahushua doesn't want to come to my house and sleep over? But out of all people, he said, yo, I want to sleep over your crib. Right? And he's like, oh, wow, I didn't even know that. That's surprising to me. Right? So the Most High saying what? He gave us flavor, man. He gave us that gift. Let's start using it. Israel, let's go. Verse 34. Ye are the light of the world. That's important. You are the light of the world. When the nations look at you, they're supposed to look at you as a light, man. The nations are supposed to be following you. That's why when we give flavor to everything, dancing and singing and everything, even though it's on the wicked side, the other nations try to copy us. That's why they forefront us as the front line to basically promote their wickedness, because we do that with flavor. Right? We spit how to sell drugs with flavor. We spit how to murder somebody with flavor. Right? We make a rhyme too. Right? But even though it's on the left-hand side, on the evil side, we still have flavor. What if we was to do a 360, take that and use it for the righteous reasons? That's what the Most High is telling us, man. Even music, right? Music is a way to reach people. Nowadays, the music is trash. The music you hear nowadays is trash, man. You know what I'm saying? There's no respect to persons, even sometimes in the truth. Like, some of the music is trash too. You know what I'm saying? Because they try to sound too much like Lil Wayne or the rappers in the world, right? So we need to start being unique with ourselves, man, unique with our gift, and start bringing it forward to enlighten our people, no matter which way or form, or which way, shape, or form, right? Let's read on. It says, a city that is set on an hill cannot be hid, right? That's a precept to Deuteronomy 4th chapter when it says, all the nations, when we keeping the commandments of the Most High, will look at us and say, surely this is a wise people and their God is with them. That's when we shall be a city set on a hill that cannot be hid. But right now we the hidden ones because we don't know the commandments of the Most High. And I'm gonna tell you something, if we was to be using the gifts that we have to the best of our ability as a nation right now, we probably would have been out of captivity right now. We probably would have gathered 144,000 already. So it's letting us know what? That we still got work to do, man. Right, let's read on. Verse 15, neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but a candlestick, and giveth light unto all that are in the house. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. Especially when you're in the truth, man. But you in the truth, if you're an Israelite and you out there teaching, you in the camp or something, people supposed to look at you and say, yo, I know that brother, he be teaching. He's teaching the word, or he's putting in work for the Most High. Right? Yo, I see him out there every day helping out the brothers. Yo, every day he's out there at camp helping out the brothers with the speakers and the post boards, asking if he's good of any service that we could, use him for in terms of, the scriptures or anything like that. Right? That's your light shining. And that's good works. So the Most High said, let your light shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. So you just doing the work might motivate somebody else to do the work. Or you doing the work might let people know, yo, I got to start stepping up. Right? So this is what the Most High is telling us to influence each other off of. Good vibes, good influence, motivation. Right? Let's go to 1 Peter, the 4th chapter. And we're going to start at verse 8. Okay, it says, and above all things, have fervent charity among yourselves, for charity shall cover the multitude of sins. Use hospitality to one another without grudging. Now, hospitality, right? Let's say if brothers from out of state, right? Let's say we keeping the Passover with brothers from out of state. They want to attend our Passover. Now, what we want to do is establish to the point where we have a place of our own to be able to be hospitable to brothers from out of state, right? But that takes work. But now if you don't have brothers with you that's willing to step forward and put in that work with you, then guess what? The hospitality is out the window because, like I said, people come out of state from DC or Pennsylvania or things of that nature, right? Out of state, period, to come kick it with us. Now we on some like, yo, we wish we had a place where we can just have brothers sleep over or, not pay Esau that much, money for a hotel, right? And we hospitable like that to our people. But not too many people step forward to put in work. That's why we still in a slumber as a nation, right? So use hospitality one to another without grudging. As every man have received the gift, even so minister the same one to another as good stewards of the manifold grace of God. So that's what we're supposed to be doing, man. When you have a conversation with a brother and sister, it's mainly supposed to be about how can you build with each other? What can you do to further your people or further whatever you're doing in the Most High, right? How can you establish certain things to help your people, to give more charity, to help the poor more? You know what I'm saying? Yo, brother, I got to connect with, with food. You know what I'm saying? Half price. Let's get this money. Let's get the food and go to the hoods and start giving out the food to the poor people. Right? Charity. Boom. While we passing out flyers and doing the work at the same time, giving them food spiritually and physically. That's how we're supposed to do it, man. If we was doing that as a nation, we would have been out this captivity, man. But some of our people, they like being in America, man. So, hey, we do what we can, right? And the Most High is picking those who he feel is right for the job. Right, so let's go. 1 Corinthians chapter 14. And we're going to start, let me see. All right, we're going to start at verse 1. Follow after charity and desire spiritual gifts, but rather that ye may prophesy. So, right, we're supposed to desire spiritual gifts, meaning anything that we can put in for the Most High. That's what you're supposed to pray to the Most High for. Things that you can help to build this word or to build the foundation for the Israelites, right? For our people to come back to the fold. That's what we're supposed to be doing, right? But it says, but rather that ye may prophesy. A lot of times our people, you know, they desire the talent to want to prophesy, but they don't take time to practice. They don't take time to you know, seek counsel. They don't take time to pray to the Most High for that talent. They're praying for other foolish things. So they sit back and say, damn, I wish I could teach, but they're not exercising that talent or practicing it. Right? They know they have it in them, but they're not exercising it. Right? So the Most High saying, what? Desire spiritual gifts, but rather that you may prophesy, because prophesying is what waking our people up. Prophesying is what's making our people repent and come back to the Lord's commandments of the Most High. Right? You wanted to say something, okay?
Yeah, Cap. If I could just say, prophecy is what's going to bring this place down. When you're reading the book of 1 Thessalonians, the Most High said, whom the Most High will destroy with the spirit of his mouth and the brightness of his coming. The spirit of the Lord's mouth is the prophecies. You know, we're out here pushing about how the Most High is going to destroy America and why the Most High is going to destroy this place, because it's evil and it's wicked. And we're hoping peradventure that some of our people will repent. So that's a gift that you should desire to have, because that's really what's going to bring an end to this place. Remember, I always bring it up. When you read Revelation, the 7th chapter, the Most High told the angels to hold back the destruction until the 144,000 are sealed. How are they going to be sealed? Through teaching, prophesying, etc. So every Israelite should pray that the Most High gives them the gift of prophecy, because the more brothers that's teaching is the more the word is going out, and the sooner we can gather the Most High's elect. But if that's not your gift, then the Most High tells you to follow after the gifts that he did give you, because there are needs for other gifts as well. That's all, Cap.
Right. So, you know, even like if teaching is not your office, then you go to a brother that does teach and you go to him and offer your services. How can I help you, brother? I know you teach. That's not my position, but I know you prophesying. I got this talent. How can we link up together and do this work? Right. Like right now, right? You know, matter of fact, now that I'm talking about it, this Sunday in the Heights, 181st Street, right? In the Heights, we're having camp is the Northern Kingdom, right? Gathering the Northern Kingdom. So we're opening a Spanish camp on 181st Street in the Heights. If y'all around the area, come through, check us out. It's gonna be in Spanish. So if you don't know Spanish, come through. You're gonna learn some Spanish, at least some words that day, right? But gathering the Northern Kingdom, we're opening up camp Sunday in the Heights at 4:45, 5 o'clock, right? So that's something that is needed, because it's a gift that brothers and sisters have that we can bring forth to the nation, right? Just like, for example, even just talking Spanish, we can reach a lot of our people just talking Spanish. So am I going to sit here and waste that talent and say, well, I know Spanish, but I ain't going to teach a class. I ain't going to do nothing. I'm going to be lazy. I ain't going to do this. I ain't going to do that. Knowing I have that talent, the Most High is looking at me in disgrace, man, because I could be furthering help build our people and open up their eyes and wake them up to being an Israelite just by using that talent. So that's the importance of gifts, Israel, to use it. The Most High give you gifts to leave it there and let it go to waste, man. It's like if a person is hungry and he ain't got no food, and he look at the next person with all the food, letting it rot, saying, you know what, I'm gonna throw this away, I'm gonna throw that away, I'm gonna take this and eat it. He's gonna be like, yo, you throwing all that food away, but I'm starving. Right? There's other people that desire the gift that you have. Right? Desire the gifts of prophesying, desire the gifts of having technical skills or whatever. Right? They desire the gift that you have, but guess what? You're not using it. And don't ever think the Most High can never take that gift away and give it to somebody else that actually wants it. Right? So let's read on.
Can I just say something, Cap, real quick?
Yeah.
There's a lot of gifts out here. Like, I'll tell you some gifts that I wish I had. I wish I knew how to draw. Because you got some brothers, man. Some of the artwork I see, and I know you can agree with it, Cap. Some of the artwork I see on Facebook, like when they draw Yahushua and different things, that stuff be powerful. I said, man, I wish if I knew how to draw, I'll put Marvel Comics out of business, man, doing Israelite comic books or something like that, man. You know, hell, I wish I could sing. I know how to rap. I wish I could sing, you know, because we got to wake our people up through music. So you may not think you have a talent, but you have a talent. Every Israelite has a talent. Most I said, we're the salt of the earth. You just have to find out what your talent is and cultivate that, whatever it is. Your talent might be seeing a talent in somebody else. In other words, you see somebody has a gift and not really cultivating it, and you know how to get through to them with the way nobody else could, by talking to them, or whatever you have to do to get through to them to break through their talent, that's your talent. Some brothers, their talent is just speaking. They could sell daggone ice to an Eskimo. You know what I'm saying? That's your talent. Use it. But every Israelite has a talent. That's the point. Go ahead, Cap.
Right, and listen, man, between us and the world, Danya Allah could say, man, don't let him fool you. All right, but that's my brother, man. I ain't gonna put him on the spot like that, right? Let's read on. Let's read on. Right, so it says, verse 3. He that prophesies speaketh unto men to edification and exhortation and comfort. He that speaketh in an unknown tongue edifying himself, but he that prophesieth edifieth the church. So I want to go back to verse 3, right? It says, he that prophesies speaketh unto men to edification and exhortation and comfort. To have a spirit to be able to comfort a brother, that's a gift. A lot of brothers and sisters have a gift to comfort a brother or sister, right? Just off of words, right? Just off of, listen, brothers and sisters, gonna be all right, right? Speeches and whatever to motivate them and get them back on track. Y'all have that kind of gift too. But sometimes y'all don't use it because a lot of times you might feel prideful. Oh, I ain't gonna talk to that brother. Oh, I ain't gonna do this. I ain't gonna do that. Oh, I don't know him. Who is he? Right? You hold him back because you don't know a brother. You don't know a sister. Oh, how he's gonna respond to me? Well, you don't know if you take a chance to do it, or you don't take the chance to do it. You don't ever know. So it's about taking the chance to build with brothers and sisters, man. Stop being hesitant. Stop being, scared to reach out. Right? Just because you might see other brothers that might act a certain way, don't mean all Israelites act a certain way neither. Right? So you have to approach brothers and sisters with the love. Right? Just like we read in the Apocrypha where it says, get thee the love of the congregation. That's what you're supposed to be doing. And how do you earn that love of the congregation? By the congregation noticing that you're really about the Most High, that you're really putting in that work. And you don't do it for the glorification from men, but the Most High says it comes with the territory, right? So you do this for the glorification of the Most High and the Most High only, right? And of course, an acknowledgement of his son Yahushua. Okay, so let's read on. It says, verse 5, I would that ye all spake with tongues, but rather that ye prophesied, for greater is he that prophesieth than he that speaketh with tongues, except he interpret, that the church may receive edifying. So that's another thing. When you brothers and sisters know different languages, that's a gift. You could talk Spanish, English, hell, Greek, Latin, and you teaching our people in those languages, because we know we all scattered. Israel scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. So we speak in different languages. We looking different. We acting different because we scattered throughout the world. But we know who we are, at least those at the Most High's awakening. So it's a gift to be able to speak different tongues and be able to interpret it, meaning also translate it, because when you interpret something, you're letting people know what's being spoken, right? So when you let people know what the truth is in different languages, that's what Paul had, man. Paul had the gift of, having knowing certain languages. That's why he was able to go out, to certain areas and speak to the truth, speak to the children of Israel about the truth, because he knew different languages. And he's also saying what? Even knowing different languages is not as important as knowing how to prophesy or having the gift of prophesying, because that's how we're going to get the word out. Right? So let's read. Verse 12. It says, even so ye, for as much as ye are zealous of spiritual gifts, seek that ye may excel to the edifying of the church. So everything you do, you have to make sure it's for the edification of the nation of Israel, period. Make sure it's excelling in edification. Make sure it's reaching the people. Make sure it's beneficial for your people. Make sure it's something that can wake the people up and they can use this tool to change themselves, better themselves and their family. Right? We have brothers and sisters that's in the field of employing people. We need that. Our people are not employed nowadays, right? Even those that's trying, they can't get employment because it's hard for an Israelite out here. It's hard for a Hispanic or black man to get a job out here. So for those people that can employ people, look for those in the truth and start employing them. Those that sincere, because I'm going to tell you something, not everybody's sincere. So I'm not saying come out here and start employing or dealing with people that's not really sincere, that's about draining you, right? I'm saying work with those that are sincere. Work with those that's putting in work. Those that you know you can trust in terms of, okay, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, and that's going to establish what we're doing to help further this thing, right? So let's read. Let's go to Romans chapter 12, and we're going to start at verse 4. It says, for as we have many members in one body, and all members have not the same office, right? I'm going to read that again. Not all members have the same office, right? And all members have not the same office. Brothers and sisters, well, I'm mainly talking to the brothers right now. If teaching is not your office, don't do it. Right? If teaching is not what you do, don't try to force a gift upon yourself. Find that gift within yourself. If you can prophesy, if you feel like you got a little talent in that, all right, cool. But be real with yourself. Right? Deep, searching yourself and look deep in yourself and say, am I really a teacher? Do I really know how to prophesy? Do I, possess the gift and the talent to prophesy? Right? So don't go out there making yourself look a fool and you're not a teacher. And the Most High didn't give you that gift when you could be using that time, utilizing the gift that he did give you. That's another thing, Israel. Don't force a gift upon yourself. Whatever the Most High blessed you with, be content. And guess what? You might be great, considered in his eyes greater than a man that did prophesy, because you giving more sincere love and charity to your people than he is. Right? Just because you prophesy don't mean that you saved or anything like that. It's a great gift. But many wicked people prophesy too. Going back to what? Using the gifts on the left-hand side. Right? Doing the Most High's work deceitfully. So let's use our gifts, man, and start using it to do what? To edify the people, to make sure we're doing it for the edification of our people. Okay, so let's read. Verse 5. So we, being many, are one body in Yahushua, and every one members one of another. That's important. We members of another too, man. Meaning we in this together. We are people. We a nation. We family. We brothers. We sisters. Right? We've been taught for so long to look at each other as strangers. And you know what's crazy? Our people don't look as the white man as strangers. Our people look as to the white man as friends. But to each other, nah, I ain't building with you. They rather go to Esau's store or Ishmael's store to buy something when their own people have the product. Right? So the Most High's letting us know we each other's members, man. We our brother's keeper. We supposed to look out for each other, especially when it comes to nation building and having the resources that everybody don't got. Right? So let's read. It says, having then gifts differing according to the grace that is given to us, whether prophecy, let us prophesy according to the proportion of faith, or ministry, let us wait on our ministering, or he that teacheth on teaching, or he that exhorteth on exhortation. He that giveth, let him do it with simplicity, meaning just do it, not with no, motive, right? Not hindering your gift and hindering the word because you want to make it difficult. Just do it, right? It ain't the Nike commercial. It's the scriptures. Just do it, right? So let him do it with simplicity. He that ruleth with diligence, he that showeth mercy with cheerfulness. That's another gift, right? Showing mercy to your brothers. How many brothers and sisters you know will actually show mercy to the next person or the next brother and sister that transgress against them? It's a gift to be able to say, yo, brother, you know what? I forgive you, man. Just don't even worry about it, man. It ain't a big deal. It's cool. Even if you're saying, yo, just to clear my conscience with the Most High, I ain't going to deal with them, but it's all good. I ain't going to hold a grudge against you neither. Right? That's a gift. Not too many have that, to show mercy with cheerfulness. Meaning, you know what? I'm doing it for me and the Most High. I'm not doing it for that person anyway. Right? Let the Most High deal with them. He deal with the Most High. I'm just doing what I can to clear my conscience. I'm good. I'm treating my brother or sister the way I want the Most High to treat me. That's how we always have to look at it. Now you're going to be, you know what? I'm not going to steal from myself, so I ain't going to steal from my brothers. But you know what? Some people are so evil, they will steal from themselves. So sometimes it's like, you know what? People don't love themselves, so they ain't going to love their people. Right? So let's read on. Verse 7. It says, or ministry, let us wait on our ministering, or he that teacheth in teaching, or he that exhorteth on exhortation. He that giveth, let him do it with simplicity. That he ruleth with diligence. He that showeth mercy with cheerfulness. Verse 9. Let love be without dissimulation. Abhor that which is evil. Cleave to that which is good. Right? So to love without dissimulation is to build with your brothers and sisters. Zephaniah 2:1. We bring it out all the time. Gather yourselves together, O nation not desired. That's loving without dissimulation. Right? Abhorring that which is evil. What is that? Abhorring that does not profit your people. So if you actually abhorring something that profits your people and you're not really using it and utilizing it, then you're evil for that, because you could be waking up hundreds of people, maybe even thousands. You never know what the Most High can be using you for. Remember, he says what? He can make the weakest man be the strongest man. Right? The youngest man, you know, or the less weak take out the strongest men. So we never know what's possible with the Most High. That's why we can't doubt him, right? So let's read verse 13, verse 11. Slakia, verse 10. It says, be kindly affection one to another with brotherly love, in honor, preferring one another, not slothful in business. That's important, man. Not slothful, not being lazy, not making excuses, right? Especially when it comes to building yourself and building his word, right? Being slothful in business, man. You know what I'm saying? You're not responsible. Going so hard for Esau, but for the Most High, I'll wait for another day, right? So you slothful in business. The Most High gave us a job. Our business in the truth to teach. That's our main business. Yes, we build economically. Yes, we build financially. But if you putting that in front of the Most High, then you have a problem. So not slothful in business. Okay, let's read on. Fervent in spirit, so zeal, man. That zeal putting in my Father's business, like Yahushua said, right? I'm about my Father's business. He wasn't slothful. He wasn't sitting around waiting for other people to get things done. He was doing his own thing. Whoever followed. But guess what? He did his own thing, man. He ain't worried about this brother or that brother. Yo, brother, you ain't, nah, man. You know what I'm saying? But it's also affecting our people because you're not using your gifts. You're not using gifts. Everybody in our nation is looking for handouts. Not everybody, but a lot of our people is looking for handouts. Right? Looking to be put on without putting in work. That's not how it goes, man. All right, so let's read 1 Timothy chapter 5 and verse 13. It says, and withal they learn to be idle, wandering about from house to house, and not only idle, but tattlers also, and busybodies, speaking things which they ought not, which they ought to, right? So, which they ought not. Slakia. So a lot of our people, man, they're so busy doing other things that's not important, right? That they learn to be idle and learn evil, right? We're going to get that scripture too, right? So when you idle, you're not doing nothing, right? The Most High is looking at that and saying, yo, you being slothful, right? You being idle, you wandering about from house to house. You don't know what to do with yourself, right? You just like Esau, going to and fro about the earth, not using what the Most High blessed you with. And then you have other brothers and sisters that desiring to help build our people with the sincere ones. And those people are hard to find. I'm still trying to find brothers and sisters to build with, man. Outside of my media circle and those that I deal with. You know what I'm saying? Because if we have more numbers, we have more power. There's power in numbers. So imagine the whole nation of Israel just coming together, man, using our resources. Because first of all, these other nations, they got these skills from us. We taught them how to do everything. We taught them how to hunt. We taught them how to make food, how to cook, how to put some sazon out over or whatever, some seasoning to your food, right? We taught them all of that. We taught them how to build. Who you think built those pyramids? It was the Israelites, man. Right? So they don't know nothing about science. We the master at that with the spirit of the Most High. So we're supposed to be coming into the truth using these gifts, Israel. Okay, so let's read on. It says, I'm going to read it again, actually. And withal, they learn to be idle, wandering about from house to house, and not only idle, but tattlers also, and busybodies, speaking things which they ought not. Right? So from there, let's go to the book of Sirach, chapter 33. So we ain't supposed to be here, right? And I don't experience that, man. You know what I'm saying? Brothers coming to me or calling me and, yo, I want to talk to you about this brother. I want to talk to you about that brother. Meanwhile, they got so much things going on in their life in terms of dealing with poverty. I'm trying to help them out in their life, and they're over here talking to me to try to talk about another person. That's awful, man. That's a busybody. He ain't doing nothing with his life. He ain't got no goals in life. He ain't doing nothing with the scriptures. He ain't doing nothing to push the word. So, of course, he's going to have enough time to sit here and call a brother to talk about somebody else. That's foolish, man. Stay away from people like that. They're going to bring you down too, right? So, the book of Sirach, chapter 33, verse 27. It's my last scripture. Right? It says, send him to labor that he be not idle, for idleness teacheth much evil. So when you idle, man, you have more than enough time to think about evil things, man, how to go off. Right? You ain't fulfilling what you're supposed to be fulfilling. Right? You don't have a plan in life. You don't have a goal in life. You're not working towards nothing. So you just sitting there idle. That's why these young people, when they idle, they get to sit here on YouTube all day and look at videos that pervert their minds. They start manifesting all these things they see on YouTube videos and World Star Hip Hop in the flesh. And who's to blame? The parents, because the parents is not giving them something to do. It's not putting them to work. Right? A lot of our parents, oh no, he's too young to work. Oh no, don't put him to work. He's not supposed to be working. He's a child. The Most High is against that. The Most High said, give your children chores, man. So when they grow up, they learn to be workers, man. They learn how to fend for themselves. Right? Too much babying going on in the nation of Israel. That's why we don't have too much entrepreneurs in the nation of Israel. We're too busy studying Esau's history or how bad we are, right? Because we put our own people down. Our own people put our own people down. So we're too busy hating each other that we don't think of ourselves as, you know what, I can own a business. You know what, I can be an entrepreneur. You know what, if I set my mind to it, I could do it. You know what, if I set my mind to praying to the Most High for this gift so I can further this word, yo, that's what I'm going to do. You know what I'm saying? The desire of our people is off. Y'all putting y'all wants and y'all needs, you know what I'm saying, in the same box. And you got to be able to separate that from another, right? So that was my last scripture, Israel. That's my whole thing of bringing these kind of topics out, is to bring that, you know, the spirit of brothers and sisters willingly wanting to work, man, putting in that work, willingly wanting to put in work for the Most High, man. He created you, like he chose you to be a special people, an Israelite. He gave you all these gifts and you're not utilizing it, man. What are you doing with your time? What are you doing with yourself? Right? So let's start utilizing all the resources we can, Israel, and let's start coming together. Okay, so let's start coming together and start reaching out to brothers. We one of the brothers that you can reach out to anytime if you're trying to build. And we can use you and you can use us, right? To use each other to do what? To build this this foundation, man, to build this nation. Right? So anything you want to say, Priest?
No, that was those scriptures were right on point. You had the exact same scriptures that I had here. So you did an excellent job. I don't know who's that on the conference call. Somebody has something?
This is I'm on the conference call. I'm just listening to what y'all got to say. Good breakdown.
Khan, all praise to the Most High. You know, Captain McGunn did a good job. He's been being real diligent with these classes, and I definitely appreciate and respect it because it's needed. And you know, again, Israel, just put in your brick. That's what it's all about. That's how we're gonna get out of here. I'm saying, doesn't matter what your gift is. Don't worry about being the person that's going out teaching, prophesying, breaking down the history. If the Most High gave you a talent of just being an administrator, where you're just good with paperwork, you know how to build websites, you're good with finances, you're good with treasury, you know, or any other gift that you might have, just utilize that gift. That's it. Because we need all of that right now. If we're trying to bring and build a nation, we need all of that, absolutely. So with that being said, I'm not going to prolong the class. Family, I have our camp phone number inside the chat. You can see it right there. It's 1-877-53-LIONS. If you want to reach out to us, Lions of Israel, that is our phone number. Reach out to us. If we're not available to pick up the phone, we'll definitely get back to you. Most High's willing, as soon as possible. We appreciate brothers and sisters that came out and supported the class. I don't think I really saw any questions on the comment board. So I just want to shout out a few people. Of course, Anava Kahan 12. You know, you support everything we do, so we appreciate you. I see you on all the comment boards, Maccabees TV, Sisters of the Maccabees here, my channel, Priest Daniela. So you show us a lot of support everywhere we go. Greatly appreciated. Of course, Uzai Yahawada, Sons of Yahweh, supporting from the Maccabees Alliance Council. Appreciate you coming through. And the members of the Alliance of Israel that's on the chat. I see a few of y'all as well. So that's greatly appreciated. Let's just continue to do the work because we have a long way to go, man. Mosai says through the foolishness of preaching, man, the elect is going to be woken up. So if we ain't really pushing this work, if we're not denying ourselves and making ourselves a living sacrifice and getting on these calls and these classes and stuff like that, we're going to be here. We're going to stay here. All right, so with that, I'm out. Alliance of Israel, Maccabees Alliance Council. I say shalom. Shalom.
Shalom.